So it was 23, 24, 25. I think it was 2022. What is this? I heard 23. They'll still come back on here. Ain't no what happened to it. Okay, you guys. I ain't know what happened to the thing. It was acting up. Thank you for coming back. The phone was acting up. Remember. Okay, you guys. All right, you guys. I'm cooking some lemon pepper salmon and broccoli and mashed potatoes. That's what I'm cooking today. I don't know what happened to the first live, you guys. Thank you. Thank you for subbing. I appreciate that. I hope Miss Nancy come back. Thank you. I'm cooking some lemon pepper salmon, um broccoli, and some mashed potatoes. I wish I knew how to pin it up there, but I don't. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all don't forget to hit that like button. My day going great. How about yours? I'm having a great day today. Yes. How about your day? How your day going? And what y'all having for dinner? I hope Miss Nancy come back on here. Okay. Like I said, it been hot here. Real hot. Let me cut this down. I got that too far up. Some. What you guys cooking today? Oh, yeah. Gotta get that off the floor. This the lemon zest, the zesty lemon. taste it, see if it needs some more salt. Thank you. I'm gonna put my salmon back in here. I just want to make the I just want to taste it. Hello, Mrs. Donna, how are you? I think it needs some salt, y'all. I want too much. I'm doing good. Ain't no need to complain. Thank God for His grace and His mercy. I was going to do a story time today, but I have to go pick up my son. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to come cook and then I'll do another story time on how I started using illegal drugs. So that's what I was going to do. So tell you how it first started when I started using. So that's it. What started me to use. I have to pick up my son. I'm gonna put these back in here. Excuse me. I should have put some onions, but I didn't feel like all that today. Just want to get here something quick. Quick and delicious. That's good. It tastes good. And then the broccoli almost done. It won't take that long, y'all. Finish. But I'm gonna hurry up and get up out of here today. I mean, it really been no long. I got so much going on, so right now. But I did wanted to come on and I wanted to come on and talk to you guys and sit down and let's talk like how we did last time. I see Miss Brenda wasn't able to come back on and come back on today. But I just want to thank y'all for tuning in. Maybe I'll have to continue this tomorrow. Just have a story time tomorrow. Just sit down at the table and probably eat my dinner and give y'all a story time, because I want to give y'all a story time today, like how we did last time. I'll talk about my sobriety and how I started using and stuff like that, and what led me to use illegal drugs, and was going to help start with the 12 steps and talk about the first step, that you got to admit it, and you got to know that there's something that was more powerful than you that you couldn't handle. But first you got to admit that you have a problem. And I did do that. But I want to go and start doing like this 12 steps with you guys. Let y'all know how I got through with the first step, the second step, on and on and on and on. But I want to let y'all know what led me to start getting high first. But I know people on here, because I sure enough oh no, I'm just stomach just, no. I done had my baby. I'll be 55 this year. And I already done had my baby. I had D. I already done had my baby. So I'll be 55 this year. I got a 12-year-old finna be 13. Is I'm having any more kids? I knew I could have had more kids because my tubes weren't tied or anything. But they tied now. I have 6 kids. 5 are grown and 1 is in the household with me. Mm-mm. No more, no more, no more, no more. I got enough grandkids. I got 9 grandkids. And that's 7 boys and 2 girls. That's it. 7 boys and 2 girls. That is it. I wish Miss Brenda could have came back on here. No babies over here, honey. My niece was on here. I don't know if she was able to get back on. But I could share a little bit of story with you guys about I know when I first started getting high, you guys, it was a whole, I think it was like 6 of us started at the same time. But we started it as it being just a going out thing, going out to the club. That's how it first started. Just going out, hanging out with each other. All us tried it at the same time. But I think some of them was getting high before I started getting high. But we just was doing it just to be doing it because everybody else was doing it. You know, going out, just enjoying, you know, thought we was enjoying ourselves. It started off as just a going out thing, and then at that it started being, then we just, well, me personally, I just started doing it more and more and more and more. It just became a habit. A habit that I couldn't control. It just was a mess. I'm serious. I don't even know why I even first picked it up. Cause it ain't like I was raised wrong or anything. But one thing I did know, my mom used to send us to church even if she didn't go to church. And the word of God tells us, train up a child in the way that they should go. And if they depart, they'll come back. That's one thing I could say. I know who Jesus was. I know who God was. Even though in the midst of me going through, I used to tell the Lord, you know, take the taste of the drugs out of my mouth. Alcohol, I did, but it wasn't no thing. And I started getting high after I had 5 of my kids. That's when I started getting high. I wasn't getting high with them. I started getting high after them. But when you there getting high, you lose a lot. You lose a lot. I left this guy who I truly who loved and cared about. And none of my kids wasn't his, but he helped me with my kids. And every time he tell me to stop, I thought I say I'm gonna stop. But I end up doing the same thing. But my thing was, how you gonna tell me to stop and then you selling it? So I'm stealing his stuff, and he's telling me to stop. But he was a good guy. He had his faults and everything. You know, a little stuff like that, but it just came over me. It was so uncontrollable where I couldn't control it no more. You know, my family stopped trusting in me. Even though my sister was far away, she knew what I was going through. She stopped trusting in me. And in the midst of me doing it, I still had my kids with me. But I gave them what they wanted, but I didn't give them what they needed. Thank you. I gave them what they wanted, but I didn't give them what they needed, and that was me. I didn't give them me. I gave them just to keep them quiet. I gave them just to let me do it, the broccoli thing, you guys. So I could do what I needed to do and stuff like that. I didn't nurture them the right way or anything. Let me tell you something. When you on drugs, I don't wish that on nobody. I don't wish that on. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. That's a sickness. If you ain't got no praying people behind you, and if you can't talk to the Lord on your own, you're gonna be lost. I had but first let me tell y'all how I went to the drug program. First, this how, and then not only that, you got to be sick or tired of being tired on your own. I don't care what nobody tell you. I mean, you do this, you do that. If you're not ready, you just not ready. But I had this lady. She came and she knew what I was going through, and she told me, she said, yes, for real. And when I say I lived through the darkness, I lived through the darkness. But I thank God for putting people in my pathway to help me and to guide me to see the light at the end of the tunnel. To let me know there's light at the end of the tunnel. But you got to want it for yourself. And first time when I went to the drug program, she told me, she came and got me, but I ran another night. She called my phone. She said, this time, when I come to your house and you not there, I'm going to have your kids took from you. That next day came, I was there waiting on her. And I went to the drug program. I stayed in the program for like 6 months. But then when I got out the program, I think I stayed clean for like 2 months. And then I started back getting high again. Because the only reason why I went to the program, because I didn't want to be embarrassed and see my kids took from me. So I went to the program. Yeah. And that's true. That is so much. That is true. And I went to the program, and then I think, I started doing, and then at the midst of it, I think my mama had done got sick. I was still getting high, and my mama had done got sick, and I did some things to her that I'm not proud of. I'm gonna crack up. But if nobody ain't knew me, wait, give me a minute, y'all. I'm back. If nobody ain't knew me, my mama knew my struggle. She knew my struggle, and she knew what I was dealing with. And she never turned her back on me. But I did some things that I'm not proud of. But thank God, she seen right through me when nobody else did. When my mama was on her dying bed, my family, they knew my mama was like an enabler to me. And they knew if she left this world, I was going to be in trouble. But I ran for another year, you guys. And I got tired of running. And that's when I said enough is enough. I had to surrender myself. First, wait, my baby girl who stays with me now. She was okay, I had 4 first. And then when I was pregnant with her, I got high with her all the way till I was 9 months. And the people who I used to get high with, they used to always tell me, I dream, and you sitting there getting high with me. The next day, I guess your conscience started bothering you. I dream they took your children from you. So I used to always say, ain't nobody going to take my children away from me. But God, because God lent them to me. Those, I say my kids belongs to me and God. My kids don't belong in no system. And I had meant that from my heart. And Yolanda Adams' song, This Battle Is Not Mine, It's the Lord. When I was pregnant with my daughter, that song used to come on so much. And I listened to that song, and I believe, and my favorite part was, He's God, and all I had to do was hold on and have faith. Like I say, I knew who God was, because see, my mama trained us to go to church. We went to church with my granddaddy when my mama didn't even go to church. My mama went to work. She made sure we went to church. Every Sunday we had to go to church. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So she trained me up in the church. So therefore, I already knew I just had them straight away. But after that, after my mom, but after I was pregnant with my daughter, I was getting ready to go have her. And the people who I was getting high with, I didn't let nobody know I was going to have my daughter. Because, you know, some people who you sit around with, them be the ones who try to mess you up. Because like I say, all my friend kids got took from them. I was the only one who was still getting high, didn't have their kids took from me, even though the people came to my house, but they never took my kids. And I remember a lady coming to my house telling me, you better be mindful who you hang around. And I never forget my cousin, he's deceased now, he told me, he said, TT, you better keep your enemies far and keep your enemies close and make sure your friends are far. He said, because them the ones who calling on you. Because see, what I'm cooking today, hey, Miss Brenda, I cooked some lemon pepper salmon and homemade mashed potatoes and broccoli. I'm just doing a little story time right quick before I go see my before I go get my son. Yeah, but anyways, and that's what happened to me. But when I got ready to go have my baby, my 5th child, I was like, I took my kids to my mama, and in Miami, we got this thing called a jitney. I drove the jitney. I drove the jitney to the hospital. And when I got in the delivery room, you know, they got to hook you up and give you all that medicine and the epidural and all that. And I know I was getting high, so I was like, the lady was like, you want an epidural? And I was like, no, I ain't want an epidural. But the pain was so unbearable, I had just went and got the epidural. And when I got ready to have my baby, I told the Lord, I said, Jesus, you know, I didn't mean this baby no harm. I didn't mean myself no harm. I said, but I have a problem. And I said, if you hold my hand through this whole delivery, I'll change. That was my first time telling the Lord. Remember I say, God give us chance after chance after chance. And we always say, if you take me out of this, I'm a change, but we always end up still right back where we started. And after I had her, you know, in Miami, I went home first, and I kept calling, you know, to see if all her tests came back, to see if I could bring her home And then finally, they say you can come get your baby. But I tell you no lie. That's when I realized, I say, there's a God for real. Because they didn't find no drugs in my baby system. They didn't find no drugs in my system or none of that. That's why I tell people, God is good. God made ways out of no ways. I try to tell my kids, turn all your cares unto the Lord. You're going to have to go through some things. But he's still right there. Sometimes we have to go through because he wants his glory. So, in my midst of going through and on those drugs, and I just really found out that after my mom had passed, I ran again. And then I said, you know what? I got to get myself together. If I don't get myself together, I'm going to end up taking myself out with these drugs. And I finally got myself together. But like I tell y'all, I've been through some things. I've been through some ugly things. I used to manipulate. I was very, what they call it, mischievous. Ooh, I'm talking about, I used to do some dirty things. I'm like, I used to take from my friends. I used to do just ripping and running. I used to hate the people. I used to hurt the people that loved me. I mean, I just did some things. I was the talk of my family. I'm serious. I cooked some salmon, some lemon pepper salmon, and some mashed potatoes, homemade mashed potatoes, and some broccoli. But I was the talk of my family. I was really the talk of my family. But I thank God for my sister. So I tell anyone out there who listen to me, if you got somebody who on drugs, you got somebody who's on alcohol, hold on. Hold them. Even sometimes my children, they do their little thing. I used to be mad. I used to get mad. But now, when I see them, I just say, Lord, I thank you. I know if you did it for me, you'll do it for them. So, just hold on, you guys. And that's my first 12 step. I had to admit that I had a problem that was way bigger than me. For real. I had to admit that I really had to admit that along the way, I hurted some people. I hurted my children. Like I say, I talked to my daughter, and I'm going to bring her on for she can tell y'all how I made her feel. How I made her feel. See, I'm about to block them. See, let's read the Bible, Grandma. Yeah, we can read the Bible. Deuteronomy 25:11. God bless, yeah. But I just wanted to share some of that with you guys. You know, that drugs is something. I even wrote a poem about that. Yeah, I'm able. I know. I thank you. But guess what? I'm 20 years clean. 20 years clean from drug and alcohol. From cigarettes, I went cold turkey. Nobody but God, honey. 20 years clean. And God is good, you guys. And that's why I like to cook, because it give me a peace of mind. It give me a peace of mind. I read my Bible. I read my word. I pray. Because I know I ain't keeping me. God's keeping me. Yes, He is. Yes, He is. Yeah, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. You know, I don't care how much you tell a person to stop using. Don't do that. That's not good for you. I don't care how much you waste your money trying to put them in the joy program. Because the program stops once they leave the program. That's when the recovery start. So, you know, just if you got family members out there, just love, you know, kids, whoever, just hold on to God unchanging hand. If He did it for me, He'll do it for them. God is an amazing God. We go through just to be a testimony for others. You know, I never thought I'd be on this platform talking about my sobriety. You know, it was long due anyways. 20 years clean. That's good. I know God delivered me from it. Because I don't even have a taste. I don't even have the urge. He delivered that out of me from the root. You know, sometimes some people got to be delivered from the root. You got to, you got to go in. You know how when you do a flower and they you dig them up for the roots, order for them to, some people need to be delivered from the root. I mean, they need an operation, you know, and I was one. I needed that operation. I really needed that operation. Not just for my kids, but for myself. You know, for myself. I had to learn how to love me all over again. I had to learn how to get in tune with my emotions because I settled them for so long. You know. And I thank God for my sister. She didn't have to let me come here and stay. But I thank God for touching her heart. For real. Because she didn't know me. She knew me when she left. But when she got down here all them years, she didn't really know me. You know? You guys, I'm sorry. Miss Brenda, yeah. But yeah, you guys, that's what part of us. And I find myself still getting emotion about that, you know? Still getting a little emotion about it, you know. Oh Lord. People talk about something. Hey, how you doing? Hey D, I'm gonna be for you in a minute, okay? Give me a minute. I'm finna come for you right now. I'm about to go get my son, y'all. I was supposed to be going to get him anyways, and then I end up talking to y'all. You know, talking to you guys. But that's what I did. Yep. Oh, yeah, Miss Brenda, you got to. I know the lady on my job. I know that was my sister. I know this lady on my job. She used to always tell me when I used to talk to her, because when I used to tell them I used to be on drugs, and I used to make little jokes out of every, little certain things and stuff like that. And she said, Tacoma, you know what? That's good. You could talk about what you done been through and then joke about it at the same time. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. That used to be me. That ain't me no more. I'm a better woman today. My children loves me, and little stuff like that. They ask me for something, I could be able to give it to them, Instead of, when you out there on them drugs and stuff, you making the drug man rich. And your churn ain't got this and ain't got that, but they kids walking around with all kind of name brand stuff, and your churn just looking a mess. I had to pay attention to all that. I'm giving all their money to the man for his children to look good. They don't care nothing about us. They just want that money. They don't care if we don't do nothing for our children. But they gonna make sure they do something for theirs. So I had to pay attention to all that. Boy, enough is enough. All this money I'm giving them, I could be trying to save this money to do something with me and my children. To go places with me and my children. I tell nobody, the best decision I ever made was asking my sister to come up here and live with her to start my life over here in South Carolina. It's a little slow. And then when you're going through at the program, they tell you, sometimes you got to change people, places, and things. Thank you for the heart. Sometimes you got to change people, places, and things, and that's what I did. When I told people that I was coming here to stay to South Carolina, the first thing they do is say, you running from your problems. Honey, you can say what you want to say, but I'm going to South Carolina. See, them the people that want to see you prosper. They don't want to see you flourish. They want to see you in that same predicament that you in, for they could sit down and they could talk about you and they could laugh about you and this and that. So that's why I had to get myself together. When I really hit rock bottom, and me and my children were staying in the shelters and all kind of stuff, and the people who I used to sit down and get high with, they ain't never opened their door up for me. And when my mama passed, my mama left all her children money, and I messed my money up with people who I thought was on my side. They stole from me, and they think I don't know. They stole from me everything. I gave some out and everything. And my mama left her children with a good piece of something. And I messed all that up just trying to sit around and get high. And like I say, letting dope man's children cleaner than my children. And my children walk around here with little stuff. You see? Yeah. For real. And I just truly thank God for being God all by himself. I love my sister to death. And I know my sister, I was my sister baby. But I know I hurt her when I started doing the things that I was doing. I was my sister. My sister used to do anything for me. My sister used to get on my brothers them for me. But I think when she left and moved to South Carolina, I think a part of me left too. But that's my girl. That's my world. She even get on my children for me if she think they getting on my nerves. She be the first one I call. I used to call my sister before I called my mama. Cause see, my sister helped me tie my shoe. My sister, when I was young, my sister, cause see, my sister was the oldest. So my mama used to work. So my sister used to have to look after us. So my sister was the one helped me spell my name, learned me how to spell my name, learned me how to ride a bike, learned me how to tie my shoe. So my sister was, was something like a second mama to me. I never told her that, but she was like a second mom. And I think once she left, it was like, wow. But she had her family, so she had to do what she had to do. So, but yeah, thank you, yeah, thank you. But now I done came here. I had got my little credit together. I got me a house. I remember when I first came, to tell y'all something funny. When I first came here, I ain't had no license or nothing in Miami, and I used to drive cars without license. But when I came here, you stay in South Carolina, you gonna need a car to go travel. And when I first moved here, my sister was staying in the country, so I went to take my driver's license. She was like, "You got to study for your test," and I was studying for my test and. That's the written test first. I was studying for my test. So she was like, "You ready to go take your test?" So I said, "Yeah." So my sister took me to go take my test, and when I came back out me and her still laugh about this today. When I came back out the DMV, I was smiling real big, y'all. I mean, I've been smiling so big till she been smiling too. And she said, "You got your license? I mean, you got it?" And I started laughing and say, "No." She said, "Well, what you smiling for?" I say, "It was so much, I guess, because I went in there to do something that I never did before. And it just made me feel good. I missed it by 1 point. But it made me feel so good doing it. And I mean, that just made me feel so good. But I think the next 2 days or whatever, the next week I went and then I had got it. But I just felt so good doing something so right. When you've been doing something so wrong for all them years I've been getting high, I finally was able to go do something right, clothed in my right mind. And that just made me feel so good. My sister was trying to figure out why I was smiling so big. And that's why I was smiling so big. Y'all just don't know. Then when I got my first car, it was a little putt-putt, but baby, me and my children been riding. And when I say my children been in the back seat, they was proud of their mama. They was proud of their mama. And I just started elevating. And God just started elevating me. Then he started giving me what my heart desired. And and that's what it is. And this is me now. 20 years clean of drugs and alcohol. Clothed in my right mind. Talking to you guys right now about the things that I've been through. That's right. I can see clearly now. Because Miss Brenda, let me tell you, when I went back to Miami to visit, it was certain things that I seen. I say, I ain't know that been right there. My cousin said, "Girl, that been there." See, I was so much on the drugs, I ain't even knew that been there. That been there for years, and I'm thinking, since now I can see in color. First I was looking in black and white, but now I see everything in color. God is good. Just like blind. I couldn't see nothing. Everything I seen was in black and white. But honey, long as when God got a hold of me, baby, everything changed. And like I said, I thank God for my praying mama. Before she passed, and even anybody who intercessed prayer for the unsaved, I thank God for them, and I thank God for my sister. Because she's still praying, honey. Yes. Keep me near the cross, Lord. That's why I say everybody have to carry their own cross. I can't carry your cross for you, and you can't carry my cross for me. I have to carry my own. I just got to telling my son that today. I say, I can't, I say, everybody make their bed, you got to lay in your own bed. I can't lay in your bed for you. That's the pathway you took. Now you got to lay in your own bed. You got to carry your own cross. Because I done carried mine and still carrying it. Still carrying it. Because there's still some things on the inside of me that I got to get together. Sure enough. Still some things on the inside of me that I need to get together. Myself. Thank you. Yep. 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 But I say this to say this. It took. Sometimes God will take things and people away from you to grab hold to your attention. That's what he would do. And I think, I don't know, but I think if my mama would have been still here on this earth, I don't know where I'd be. I'd probably still be in Miami acting like a fool. But I just thank God for the women that came in my pathway. The lady that helped me get here, that's the lady who helped me get in the program the first time. And when I say that lady told me that I was her assignment, and the Lord told her she couldn't let me go until I got myself together. When I say that lady stuck by my side, that lady stuck by my side. But right now today, I wish I could find her, but I can't. Once I got up here in South Carolina, I think I talked to her probably like 2-3 months. It was her and my supervisor when I used to work to the school system. That's when they vanished and just let me go. I ain't care where that lady seen me at. That lady said, if you don't get your butt in this car, that lady really stuck by my side. I really had a guardian angel with me. And that lady stuck by my side till I got on that train to come stay here in South Carolina. I wish I could find her. I try to look on Facebook for her and everything. I try to remember. I know one of her daughters' name was Lindsay. I wish I could, but I don't remember their last name. And I think they went back because she was from the islands. Thank you. She was from the islands. And I wish I can really see her. But like she said, I was an assignment from God. Yeah, so I did what I had to do, and I changed from my wicked ways, and I just, but I just thank God, you guys. I mean, He's an omnipotent God. God is awesome. He's awesome. Ain't nobody can tell me nothing different about God and His Son Jesus Christ, who died on the cross to save us for our sins, that we shall not perish but have everlasting life, not just on this earth but in heaven too. So I just thank God, really. I really, really do. Thank God. If we had all the tongues in the world, we couldn't even thank Him enough. That's how good He is. That's how good He is. Even though I went through my heart surgery and everything, I still thank Him. Because it could have been worse. I'm able to go back to work. It could have been worse. you know, and I thank him. I thank him. Some days I have my days, others, you know, have, you know, my time, but God is amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he's amazing. He is amazing. But that's the first step. You got to admit. I had to admit. Whoever out there got to admit. Your family members, your friends, they got to admit that they have a problem that's bigger than them. That is unmanageable. But they have to admit that first. Yep, got to open up, yeah. Because even in my midst of getting high, I used to always tell the Lord to take the taste out of my mouth. I don't want to do this no more. Because see, once you do powder cocaine, you just sitting up there getting high. Your money, you ain't getting no higher. You just getting broker and broker. That thing, my mama used to tell me all the time, Tacoma, you need to leave that stuff alone, girl. That's what she used to call me. Not trying to, you know, she used to say, I never knew why she said what she said. She used to say, that's a white man high, girl. You ain't got no money. You poor. She always said, dude, came to me. I knew what she was talking about. You got to have some money to be fooled up with that stuff there. Because at the end of the day, you just still getting high. When you wake up, or when you do decide to go to sleep and wake up, you ain't got a pot to piss in and a window to throw out. It done took all your money. I remember I wrote a poem about that. I won't introduce that to nobody. I say, boy, it'll take your light bill money. It'll have you ain't doing stuff for your children. I won't introduce her to nobody. That's how nasty she is. And that's what I used to tell people. I had a book. And at the end of that poem, I used to be saying, and if anybody want to know who she is, they need to stay away from her because she's no good. She's a manipulator. She takes your money. She take your rent money. She take your light bill. And I said, anybody want to know her name? Her name is Cocaine. And I made a poem about that thing. That's how deep that thing was with me. I wanted to get away, but I had to go through to get to. I had to go through to get to. Even when I used to get high and I used to be with the girls who I used to be with, they used to always tell me, you just don't look like you supposed to be doing this. I had one man who ain't even want to sell me nothing. Every time So I know, I know I was getting ready to get myself together. Yep. But at the end of the day, I had this man, he used to always say, you look like you doing good. You just, I ain't used to look like it either, y'all. And he used to say, but you just look like you don't belong to. And I had to tell him one day, I say, you know what? You just on the outside looking in. I say, I look good on the outside, but my inside is all messed up. My insides was toe up from the flow up. I mean toe up from the flow up. Yeah, for real. My insides were... Thank you. Yeah, my insides was toe up from the flow up, y'all. I was a wreck. Hi, Carson, Ted D, I'm coming. Yeah, my insides was toe up from the flow up, y'all. I wasn't no good to myself. I wasn't no good to my children. I wasn't no good to nobody. Not a soul. Not a soul. Not nobody. Yeah. But I'm finna get out of here, you guys. I got to go pick up my baby. He got to come home and wash and eat dinner. And I'll be live again with you guys. Probably won't be this week because I have my grandson and He be making all that noise, and then he be wanting to get in the camera and stuff like that. But I know I'm gonna do some more cooking vlog. So I'll probably be on here Sunday, cause I be cooking my dinner. Yes. Like they say, you say Jesus, he already done worked it out. We just got to get to that point. He done worked it out, honey. Well, he already done worked it out. We just got to get to that point. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for being a listening ear. I appreciate that, you guys. I really appreciate it. I just want God to use this platform for for His glory, not mine. Yep. I just want Him to use this I'm going to use my platform for God's glory, not my glory, because I'm nothing without Him. I'm nothing without Him. We're nothing without Him. We are nothing without Him. To God be the glory. But I'm going to go get my son, y'all, and then I'm going to call my sister back, and y'all have a good night. And remember, everybody is loved in Tasty T's kitchen. Even the haters, you guys, because we can love the hell out of them. But be blessed, and I love you guys. But y'all already know God loves y'all more.